Smith's in Westminster for us. Norman.
Lunchtime saying that the PM is, quote, very happy to have invited Donald Trump on this state visit, despite the growing backlash with that petition signed by more than 1 million people, some protests as the Prime Minister left that joint ministerial council in Cardiff, unease being expressed not just by the Labour leader but also by the Liberal Democrat leader, a number of Conservative MPs too, and we will hear later this afternoon from the Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson. Well, joining me is the Conservative MP Rehman Chishti. What do you want to hear the Foreign Secretary say?
Well, what I want the Foreign Secretary to say publicly and openly, to say the actions taken place by the President of the United States by executing the order which he did, banning people from from certain countries with a Muslim background coming into the United States, is completely discriminatory, and it stands against our British values of tolerance, respect and freedom. But also, those actions feed into the hands of extremists and terrorists like Daesh and Al-Qaeda, and therefore make our world more of a dangerous place.
Given that, do you think the government should scrap the proposed state visit?
I've never said that the government should scrap the state visit for Donald Trump, the President of the United States. We have an excellent relationship with the United States. He should come, because if we ban him or scrap the visit, what is the difference between us and him? But what I would say, the tone and the nature of the state visit should reflect the fact that this is not what he would have got had he not made that executive order, which is discriminatory, wrong and inhumane.
But surely if we simply invited him but did not grant him a state visit, then we would show we are friends with the United States, but we did not condone his actions with this travel ban.
Well, what I would say is we have to be as symbolic as the President of the United States has been with his ban. He's gone around, he's carried it out, and he's saying what a great thing it is. So therefore we, morally and principally, stand against that with our British values, and to a good friend, the United States, we should openly and publicly and frankly say to him, he is wrong at every level, and this puts the world at a more of a dangerous place.
Do you think Theresa May underestimated the scale of unhappiness she was likely to provoke by the close ties with President Trump?
No, not at all. I think you have to look at when the executive order was made. The executive order was signed when the Prime Minister had left the United States. If the question was put to her at the time, in my own personal view, knowing what the Prime Minister stands for, respecting our British values, should have been as clear as she was when she made the comment regarding Russia, to say the United Kingdom has a separate policy with regards to Russia, an agreement on the Minsk protocol on that. So I think it should have been very clear had the matter been put at the time, but at the time the executive order by the President had not been put into effect.
How do you read the fact, though, that more than 1 million people have now signed this petition in what space of 48 hours or so?
I think what it quite clearly shows is that great citizens of our country respect liberty, freedom, democracy, tolerance, and therefore I would say the government has to take into account the feelings of our citizens, and the feelings of our citizens is that the actions and the behaviour of the President of the United States are discriminatory and contrary to our British values, and on that I would say we have to be very clear in relation to the tone and the nature of the state visit he gets.
Rehman Chishti, thanks very much. Well, we'll see what